Join me and draw with me today. Learn how I designed these super fun illustrations while at the same time joining me for a story time of my health journey and how I got to where I am today, and a little bit of what motivated me to start YouTube. So get cozy, relax, and put your feet up, and let's get started. Roll the intro. Now let me start from the beginning. I used to be a dancer. I've danced since I was able to walk, really. Dance from the beginning has always filled a void for me. You know, the void in your soul when you have something that you love and you don't think that it could ever be replaced by anything. That was the void that dance filled for me for most of my life. And I'm only 25, but so far I have lived a very colorful life, to put it gently. I've lived a very interesting experience so far, and it's left many marks and scars on my body. Between my lifestyle and my life experience, and then with the added complications of learning about two recently discovered conditions that I have, one being fibromyalgia and the other being a condition called ehlers-danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder that you can learn more about on my sister channel, DRAY of Sunshine, if you want to. But for now, I'll just let you guys know that EDS, or ehlers-danlos syndrome, causes dislocations in my joints and several other complications to my body's systems. So sharing all of that with you guys, I think it can go without saying that things got pretty dang complicated after I turned about 19. My body decided that it was done with me and had enough after one too many drops onto my feet from cabaret lifts and other dance practice related injuries. And that is when things truly began to unravel for me. After being bedbound and reliant on a wheelchair for about 9 months, I was finally, but slowly, able to walk again. Sadly, this didn't last long though. Shortly after I got married in 2019, a month after I got married in 2019, my body started to unravel again. My feet became so sensitive, I couldn't stand on them without being in agony. My ribs developed a tendency to dislocate and shift on a whim, and my entire body was just in so much pain. And after camping out on our mattress in the living room for about 4 months, I got to the point where I was just sick of waiting to get better, because it became painfully obvious to me that nothing was going to get better if I didn't just do something. Because I was only 21, 22 at the time, and it just didn't make any sense that I wasn't getting any better, even though I was resting and doing everything that I was told to do. But it also didn't help that I didn't go to any doctors or get any medical help because of price and cost. And if you're here in America, you will understand that struggle. So my husband and I started looking for some other solutions. In his search, he discovered my acupuncturist and chiropractor, who is the same guy, and we felt strongly that we needed to go see him. So my first appointment at the chiropractor was confusing, to say the least, because he couldn't quite tell me what the problem was with my body and why it wasn't healing. He tried to adjust me and nothing would adjust because all of my joints were so inflamed and my muscles were so tense that nothing would shift. It was all not straight and it was all out of place and it needed to be shifted, but they refused to move. And at this point, I had been suffering for over a year from the same pain when I got dropped on my feet about 1.5 years before I went to see my chiropractor. And not only that, but I was still suffering from pains that I had way back from junior high, high school, and while I was taking classes in massage school. And it didn't make sense why they would still be causing a problem for me at the age of 22. So after about 3 months of acupuncture twice a week, we made a breakthrough. We were finally able to adjust my hips so that my leg lengths weren't different and I was able to walk properly again. Not without pain, but properly. Now, fast forward about 1 year later, this would be 2020, and during COVID. However, 2020 was a year that I started doing better because I started to get help for all of my physical pain. I was able to walk, not far, and not more than just around my house really at that point, but I was able to walk. So I saw it as progress, because that was more than I was able to do 1 year ago, because I was literally crawling from our mattress in the living room on the floor to our bathroom. So, progress. So after that, I felt like I hit a plateau with my chiropractor. I began to research physical therapists who could help me find some answers to why this all began in the first place. So after getting turned away by 3 different physical therapists, that led me to the one that I currently go to, who does soft tissue manipulations and doesn't just throw me on a bike to do an exercise for 45 minutes before every appointment. He actually does soft tissue releases and joint relocations and all of that I so greatly need, because my body is constantly shifting out of place in places that it doesn't belong. I started going to my current physical therapist for 90-minute appointments twice a week, and I started to see a lot of progress. And for the first time in several years, I actually thought that I started to feel more normal, or at least what I remembered normal to feel like. That physical therapist was the one who pointed me to see my current doctor that I have, who is an alternative medicine doctor. I got blood tests done there for autoimmune conditions and stuff, because that was really what every doctor was telling me that I should do, because everything else just didn't make sense. They suspected lupus or something like that. I go in and get blood tests done for every autoimmune condition under the sun. It comes back positive for ANA, but negative for every specific autoimmune, which usually points to a fibromyalgia condition. Getting this information, and I also at the same time got blood tests to get food allergy tested. That came back with several different allergies that I should be taking out of my diet. And fast forward to about 6 months later on this elimination diet, I was able to get my inflammation down. My body was able to function semi-normally, the pain was getting better, and my appointments at physical therapy were getting more productive because the inflammation was starting to subside a little bit faster. My physical therapist is and always will be so baffled and surprised by how much my body holds on to inflammation. If I run into any of my food allergies again too, soy is one of them, and it is a drastic one. If I have an accidental run into soy, I usually get costochondritis for several months. For those of you who don't know what costochondritis is, the first thing you need to know is 1, it is very painful. Second thing you need to know is 2, it is in your ribs, it's inflammation, and if you get too much inflammation in your ribs will dislocate, and there's nothing they can do about it. So that was a lot of fun. That was about 4 months of costochondritis fun. After getting put together twice a week and now once a week by my physical therapist, I am feeling much, much better, but now I'm just in maintenance mode where I need to be able to keep track of my health and not be irresponsible. It does not take much for my body to get out of line again in more senses than one, pun intended. But at this point, I am still unable to see a specialist due to the incredible expense that is. It's somewhere in the $7,000, $8,000 range just to walk into the door of a specialist's office for this condition that I have, this EDS. So far the only real thing that I can treat is the fibromyalgia, and no doctors really do anything for fibromyalgia besides just symptom management, I suppose. And on top of that, finding an EDS specialist here in the US is extremely difficult. Not only are they very expensive, but they're just not very common. Until I can go in to see a specialist, no long-term solution for my dislocations and chronic joint pain and subluxations will ever be made, I don't think, until I can see a specialist who can give me some more long-term options, unfortunately. But with all of this has really taught me too that being a dancer wasn't who I was. It was what I liked doing. It was something that I did. It wasn't who I was. Because not having dance has been really hard for me, but being able to rediscover YouTube and digital art and things that require me to not use my body as much and use my mind more so in creativity, that has been able to fill a lot of the void that dance used to fill. Over the past few years, I've really had to just re-identify myself and let go of the dancer, the personal trainer, the horse rider, the horse trainer, that person that I used to be before my life became so incredibly complicated. But for now, I'm just really glad that I was able to find YouTube and to find a passion, even if that passion can no longer be dance. I love making videos for you guys, and YouTube is just such an awesome opportunity to be able to share creativity with other people. I have had these conditions for most of my life and didn't have the resources to figure out what they were. and or how to help myself and fix them and or just manage them. I'm very grateful to know what I do now so that I can live a better life with the resources that I do have, even though my body is unideal. Because making the food changes, the lifestyle changes, and, you know, seeing the doctors that I need to see in order to manage my symptoms is really, really important. And that's it for this story. I started YouTube about 3 years ago, and I have no intention on stopping anytime soon. It may not be as frequently as I would like to do it because I have to put my health first. I do it as often as I can because it is something that I really love to do. If you liked this video, you can subscribe and join me again for another Draw With Me story time. Also, if you'd like to try your hand in drawing any of the things that I drew today, if it does have a tutorial or something, I will share it down in the description box below. One of the drawings that I did today of the little desk, that was a tutorial from the channel Art with Flo. I've mentioned her channel on this channel several times before, and she does a great job of walking you through the beginning steps of learning how to use Procreate and how to make some awesome illustrations at the same time. So I do suggest that you check her out if digital art is something that you're interested in trying yourself. Now that is it for today. If you do enjoy these Storytime Draw With Me videos, I would love if you would give this video a thumbs up because it really does help me know what to make for you guys in the future. And it helps YouTube know that you like it, so they will suggest it to other people who might like it also. And if you would like to learn more about my health conditions and just me in general, you can check out my sister channel, DRAY of Sunshine, where I go over all of the different conditions that I have, how I manage them, and tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that may help other people with chronic pain conditions. Even though pain may be inevitable, misery is always optional. Thank you all again for being here and joining me for this kind of laid back drawing story time. It's really nice to be able to do something like this. It's a little bit less high maintenance. Make it a great week by trying something new, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now!